Well, this was another up and down week for the 313 take. Says, yeah, the Tigers' week started off strong, but by the end it crashed and burned and they limp into the All-Star break. As winning consistently just doesn't happen as often in baseball when you can look hot or cold at any given point. For the Tigers, though, this week, for their final week before the All-Star break, their week started off very strong with them claiming 2 out of 3 and winning the series against Tampa Bay, as they got the first 2 games of the series pretty well, and then they had a chance at the sweep in the 3rd game until the bullpen imploded and shit their pants against the Rays, dropping the 3rd game 7-3 and being denied the sweep. Yeah, it just seems to be the theme. Tigers can't seem to just finish a sweep off this year, outside of playing some fucking bad teams this year, and I guess earlier this year against the Jays when the Jays were struggling. But of course, heading into their final series, before the All-Star break against Seattle, the bullpen implosion from the 3rd game against Tampa Bay, that implosion carried over into Seattle. As Jesus Christ, what in the actual fuck was that series? That series was an utter fucking embarrassment. Like, just getting completely blown out and just completely destroyed in a 3-game sweep by the Mariners. Losing the first game 12-3, followed by the second one 15-7. And then having a chance to win the 3rd game and deny Seattle the sweep, only for the Tigers bullpen to implode one more time for Seattle to get the 8-4 win to get the sweep. Just absolutely embarrassing that that bullpen imploded after being so strong all year. I think part of the bullpen's implosion was the fact that there was no Tariq Skubal and Casey Meese, since both have been selected for to represent the American League at the All-Star game, along with 5 other Tigers, for a total of 5-6 Tigers for the All-Star game, including Tigers ball boy Frankie got elected on for the All-Star game, along with Riley Green and Zach McKinstry, and Torkelson. So good to see some players make it in. I believe the Tigers actually had the most representation for the American League for the All-Star team this year. So yeah, Tigers will be represented well at the All-Star game. And Tariq Skubal getting a start for the American League because best pitcher in the world doing best pitcher in the world things. But yeah, just absolutely a fucking embarrassing. The Tigers go into the All-Star break on a 4-game losing streak, staying at 59-38. And honestly, this All-Star break probably couldn't have come at a better time, because the Tigers definitely need to catch their breath after this implosion, and just need to take this week to just relax, regroup, and refocus and get ready for the second part of the year, for that sprint to the finish for the post-All-Star break. But Tigers definitely need to address the bullpen. I think it's very clear the Tigers need to address that bullpen after what happened against Seattle, because that was pretty embarrassing. After the bullpen's been such a strength all damn season, and then it just implodes like that badly against Seattle. Just pretty embarrassing. But yeah, the Tigers, though, it's been rumored that they are in the market to get some relievers for the trade deadline from some teams selling off and throwing in the towel on their season. Interesting to see what the Tigers do and what Scott Harris does. All I say is Chris Ilitch better fuck off over there. Just fuck off in the corner and don't even try interfering in day-to-day operations. Or everyone in Detroit might come over and chop your fucking penis off. Honestly, I don't even think chopping Chris Ilitch's dick off would be enough to stop him from meddling in day-to-day operations. Especially if Ilitch has no dick, if he lost that in his divorce. Dear God. But yeah, just pretty embarrassing, but at least we have the All-Star break to just regroup and refocus and just rest up and get ready for the sprint to the finish. The Tigers still have a shot to still remain the first to be the first team that will get the 60 wins, as they're only a game ahead of the Dodgers heading into the All-Star break, and for a top team in MLB. But they're still leading the AL Central by a wide margin, and they're still the top team in the American League. But after that bullpen implosion, could that gap shrink down in the second half of the year? Because, like I said, anybody can look hot or cold at any given point in the year. And that was about the coldest the Tigers have been since maybe the start of the season. But yeah, here's hoping that after the All-Star break, the Tigers regroup and refocus. But yeah, that just wraps up for this recap. It was just a pretty embarrassing week. Started off strong, but then it just completely imploded at the end. By the bullpen, the biggest strength is now starting to become a liability. And it needs to be addressed and fast if they want to have any aspirations at winning a World Series this year. But anyway, that wraps it up here. This will be the last recap, Tigers recap for 2 weeks. Because even though technically the Tigers do have a series next weekend against the Texas Rangers, I'm not going to do a recap to cover one series. It's just not worth it. So I'll save that for 2 weeks from now, and I'll cover that when the Tigers get their first full week back in action. So yeah, All-Star break time. Just relax, and then see what Scott Harris can cook up entering the trade deadline. Since the trade deadline's only a couple weeks away, it's usually not that far off from the All-Star game. But anyway, that wraps it up here. But even though the Tigers bullpen implodes, it is always go Tigers. They just need to find a way to get hot again.